Some honorable speakers, heads and members of delegates, distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. May now we proceed to the first plenary session of IPTP. To commend the session, it is my great honor to respectfully invite Samdech Maharosapithika Thapadei Kun Sodari, President of the National Assembly of the Kingdom of Cambodia, to chair and lead the session. And may also invite Excellency Mr. Ahmed bin Mohamed Al Jawan, President of Global Council for Tolerance and Peace, to co-chair the session. Samdech Excellency Presidents, please proceed.
Honorable speakers, distinguished delegates, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. Very good afternoon. Welcome to the first plenary session on advancing the global architecture of peace, peace building, reconciliation, and tolerance, synergy of government, parliament, and civil society. It is my honor to chair this session. I would like to introduce His Excellency Mohammed bin Mohamed Al Jawan, President of the Global Council for Tolerance and Peace, GCTP, as the co-chair of the session. Earlier, we had inspiring open session with the royal message of His Majesty the King of the Kingdom of Cambodia. Keynote address by Samdech Mahabawor Thepadai Hun Manet, Prime Minister of the Kingdom of Cambodia, and special remarks by Samdech Decho Hun Sen, President of the Senate of Cambodia, who shared with us profound insights from his lifelong journey in pursuit of peace, not only for Cambodia, but for the broader Mekong region and Asia. He is truly an architecture of peace. Taking this opportunity, I would like to extend my heartfelt congratulations to Samdech Decho Hun Sen for being awarded by Peace Medal. Samdech truly deserves it. And on behalf of the Cambodian people, we thank for his leading us to the last peace. The opening session really set a stage for our following discussion. It is illuminated a key principle and pathway toward enduring peace building and reconciliation, drawing from Cambodia's unique experiences. These experiences can serve as a source of learning as we consider peace building and post-conflict nation building effort in different parts of the world. For our information, this morning, we also had meeting of 5 IPTP committees. First, Peace and Reconciliation Committee. Second, International Cooperation Committee. And third, Food, Energy, Water, and Environmental Security. And fourth, Science, Technology, and Innovation Committee. And 5, Legal and Justice Committee. The committee will report their findings to the forum at the closing ceremony. Now, back to the first plenary session, we have 2 rounds here. This is the first round, and the second round will take place in this afternoon. This session aims to shed light on how we can enhance synergy among government, parliaments, and civil society in promoting global architecture of peace, reconciliation, and tolerance. Multi-stakeholder collaboration and partnership is indeed instrumental for peace and development. It's our honor and privilege to how many distinguished speakers going to share insight on this topic. The first speaker, we have a great honor to invite His Excellency Dr. Devraja Chimiri, Speaker of the House of Representatives of Nepal. Please, Excellency, the floor is yours.
सभापति महोदय, विशिष्ट प्रतिनिधिहरू, सहिष्णुता र शान्तिको लागि अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय संसदका सदस्यहरू, महिला तथा सज्जनवृन्द, शान्तिका अग्रदूत भगवान बुद्धको भूमि, उच्च हिमाली देश नेपाल, नेपाली जनता र नेपालको संसदको तर्फबाट नमस्ते र न्यानो अभिवादन। कम्बोडियाको सुन्दर सहर नोमपेनमा आयोजित सहिष्णुता र शान्तिका लागि अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय संसदको 11औं पूर्ण सत्रमा यहाँहरू सामु उपस्थित हुन पाउँदा म आफूलाई गौरवान्वित महसुस गरेको छु। यो भेलाले शान्ति, मेलमिलाप र सहिष्णुता केवल मनोकांक्षा सीमित नभई ठोस यथार्थ बनोस् भन्ने हाम्रो सामूहिक प्रतिबद्धतालाई झल्काएको छ। द्वन्द्व, असुरक्षा र विभाजनको कारण हाम्रो जग हल्लिएको आजको विश्वमा शान्ति, मेलमिलाप र सहिष्णुताको खोजी भन्ने छलफल सान्दर्भिक नहुन सक्छ। शान्ति र स्थिरताको मार्ग पहिल्याउने काम अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय समुदायको साझा जिम्मेदारी हो भन्ने यथार्थ बिर्सन मिल्दैन। विश्वका विभिन्न मुलुकबाट आउनुभएका नेताहरूको यो उपस्थिति पनि शान्तिप्रतिको प्रतिबद्धता हो। नेपाल समावेशी मेलमिलाप मार्फत द्वन्द्वको सामना गरी शान्ति अँगालेको राष्ट्रको रूपमा रहेको छ। द्वन्द्वबाट शान्तितर्फको हाम्रो यात्राले संवाद, सहिष्णुता र आपसी सम्मानको शक्ति प्रदर्शन गरेको छ। द्वन्द्वको अन्त्य गरी सौहार्दपूर्ण शान्ति स्थापना गर्न सकिन्छ भन्ने बलियो उदाहरण नेपालमा सन् 2006 मा हस्ताक्षर गरिएको विस्तृत शान्ति सम्झौता हो। शान्ति सम्झौताले नेपालमा स्थायित्व ल्याउनुका साथै संविधान सभाबाट संघीयता सहितको समावेशी र प्रगतिशील संरचना बनाउन महत्त्वपूर्ण योगदान पुर्याएको छ। मेलमिलाप र सहिष्णुताको इमानदार प्रतिबद्धताबाट दिगो शान्ति प्राप्त गर्न सकिन्छ भन्ने शिक्षा आज हामी विश्वसामु फैलाउन चाहन्छौँ। शान्ति स्थापना गर्ने कार्य जटिल छ, जसमा सरकार, संसद र नागरिक समाज बीचको समन्वय आवश्यक हुन्छ। समाजका सबै तहलाई शान्ति निर्माणको प्रक्रियामा सहभागी गराउँदा प्राप्त भएको सफलतालाई हामीले नेपालमा प्रत्यक्ष रूपमा देखेका छौँ। शान्ति भनेको केवल युद्धको अनुपस्थिति होइन, बरु यो न्याय, समानता र अवसरको उपस्थिति हो। परस्पर निर्भर रहेको आजको विश्वमा कुनै पनि राष्ट्रले विश्वव्यापी चुनौतीहरूको सामना एक्लै गर्न सक्दैन। शान्ति र सुरक्षामा खतरापूर्ण रहेका जलवायु परिवर्तन र साइबर असुरक्षा जस्ता नयाँ मुद्दाहरूको समाधान गर्न आपसी सहयोग र बलियो साझेदारी आवश्यक छ। जलवायु परिवर्तनको विनाशकारी प्रभावले नेपाललाई पारेको प्रभावबारे हामी पूर्ण रूपमा सचेत छौँ। हाम्रा हिम नदीहरू पग्लँदै गइरहेका छन्, बाढी पहिरोको प्रकोप बढेको छ, परम्परागत जीविकोपार्जनका साधनहरू जोखिममा परेका छन्। जलवायु परिवर्तनले हाम्रो विकासलाई नयाँ जोखिममा पारेको छ। खाद्य सुरक्षा र पर्यटनमा प्रभाव पारेको मात्रै होइन, हाम्रो समुदायलाई नै कमजोर बनाउँदै अन्ततः शान्तिलाई चुनौती दिएको छ। दीर्घकालीन अभ्यास, साझा प्रविधि र स्रोत परिचालन मार्फत यी चुनौतीहरूको सामना गर्न अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय समुदायले एकसाथ काम गर्नुपर्दछ। विशेष गरी जलवायु परिवर्तनको सामना गर्न विश्व समुदायको प्रतिबद्धता आवश्यक छ। प्रविधिको विकासले साइबर सुरक्षामा विश्वव्यापी चुनौती थपिएको छ। साइबर खतराको कुनै सीमा हुँदैन। यसले अर्थतन्त्रलाई गम्भीर क्षति पुर्याउँदै समुदायलाई नै अस्थिर बनाएको छ। साइबर शान्तिको संरक्षणका लागि सहकार्य, पारदर्शिता र आपसी विश्वासमा आधारित बहुपक्षीय दृष्टिकोण आवश्यक हुन्छ। हामी सबै मिलेर साइबर अपराध रोक्ने, तथ्याङ्कको अखण्डता संरक्षण गर्ने र व्यक्ति तथा संस्थाहरूका लागि सुरक्षित अनलाइन वातावरण प्रबन्धन गर्ने विश्वव्यापी ढाँचा बलियो बनाउनु पर्दछ। सभापति महोदय, हामी साझा उद्देश्यका साथ यहाँ भेला भएका छौँ। सहिष्णुता, शान्ति र मेलमिलापको प्रवर्धन गर्न हामी सबै जिम्मेदार रहेको बेहोरा सबैले स्मरण गर्न आवश्यक छ। अत सहयोग, प्रतिबद्धता, समझदारीको माध्यमबाट हामीमा रहेको विभाजनको रेखालाई समाप्त गर्न सकिन्छ। हामीले सरकार, संसद र नागरिक समाजको सहकार्यबाट विपत्तिको सामना गर्न सक्ने शान्तिका संरचनाहरू निर्माण गर्न सक्दछौँ। शान्ति प्रवर्धन गर्न, हाम्रो धरतीको रक्षा गर्न र संसारका हरेक कुनामा सहिष्णुता प्रवर्धन गर्न अन्तर्राष्ट्रिय समुदायसँग मिलेर काम गर्न नेपाल आफ्नो प्रतिबद्धता पुनः दोहोर्याउन चाहन्छ। अन्त्यमा म यो भन्न चाहन्छु, शान्ति उपहार होइन, एउटा लक्ष्य हो। शान्ति कायम राख्न र प्रवर्धन गर्न हामीले सामूहिक र सृजनशील प्रयत्न गर्नुपर्दछ। हामी सबैलाई शान्ति, सहिष्णुता, मानवताले भरिएको विश्व निर्माण गर्न यस अधिवेशनले प्रेरित गर्ने मैले अपेक्षा गरेको छु। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, Honorable Speaker, for your valuable contribution. And next, we have the great honor to invite Her Excellency Mrs. Selmayra Sacramento, President of the National Assembly of Sao Tome and Principe. So the floor is yours, Excellency.
Muito obrigada. Excelentíssimo Senhor Presidente do Conselho Global para a Tolerância e a Paz, Excelentíssimo Senhor Presidente do Parlamento Internacional para a Tolerância e a Paz, Excelentíssimos Senhores e Senhoras Presidentes dos distintos parlamentos dos países aqui representados, distintos membros desta Assembleia, meus senhores e minhas senhoras, excelências, como são belos os pés que anunciam a paz e as mãos que repartem o pão. É com esta citação, que simboliza a mensagem central do nosso encontro, que inicio a minha saudação a todos os membros deste Parlamento e da Assembleia Geral para a Tolerância e a Paz, aproveitando o ensejo para agradecer profundamente pelo convite que permitiu à delegação da Assembleia Nacional de São Tomé e Príncipe participar neste significativo evento, que nos oferece a oportunidade para, como embaixadores da paz, fortalecer os laços entre os parlamentos aqui representados e consolidar a cultura da paz, reconciliação e a tolerância. De facto, a busca pela paz, reconciliação e a tolerância é uma aspiração que transcende fronteiras e tem ganhado força nos mais variados contextos ao redor do mundo. Em 2024, muitos dos diálogos políticos, sociais e religiosos em curso têm como eixo central essa busca incessante pela paz. No entanto, é importante refletirmos sobre os fatores que historicamente têm alimentado os conflitos e as divisões em várias partes do mundo. Entre estes fatores, destaco as questões religiosas e étnicas que em diversas regiões têm sido fontes de tensão e violência. A religião, embora tenha o potencial de unir e oferecer esperança, infelizmente tem sido muitas vezes manipulada para justificar conflitos e intolerância. A história está repleta de exemplos em que dogmas e interpretações divergentes foram usados para dividir sociedades e desencadear guerras. Outro fator a destacar são as questões étnicas, cuja diversidade, que deveria ser celebrada como um patrimônio, muitas vezes se transforma em uma fonte de tensão. A construção de identidades étnicas excludentes, a disputa por recursos e busca pela hegemonia política têm sido causas frequentes de conflitos étnicos em diversas regiões. A política, por sua vez, desempenha um papel determinante tanto na gestão quanto na exacerbação desses conflitos. O desejo pelo poder, a manipulação de identidades e a falta de instituições democráticas sólidas podem transformar divergências legítimas em confrontos violentos. Tendo identificado os principais fatores geradores de conflito no mundo, é preciso sabermos que, para superá-los e construir um futuro mais harmonioso, é essencial investir em soluções que promovam a inclusão, a democracia e a paz. Nesta senda, a Assembleia Nacional de São Tomé e Príncipe, no dia 14 de agosto do corrente ano, em cooperação com a Associação Internacional de Parlamentares para a Paz e a Federação para a Paz Universal, organizou o primeiro seminário parlamentar para uma cultura da paz, que culminou com a consagração dos deputados são-tomenses como embaixadores da paz, através da aprovação por unanimidade de resolução da Associação Internacional de Parlamentares para a Paz e a Federação para a Paz Universal. Assim, com a criação de uma Associação Parlamentar para a Paz Universal e os deputados são-tomenses constituídos embaixadores da paz, a Assembleia Nacional de São Tomé e Príncipe demonstra o seu engajamento na escolha da paz, no diálogo interparlamentar, nos valores familiares, no empoderamento feminino, na valorização do gênero, na formação de jovens para uma cultura da paz em África e no mundo. É de realçar que são notáveis os feitos da Federação para a Paz Universal em São Tomé e Príncipe, desde a organização de seminários e formação para a sociedade civil, jovens e parlamentares, organização do acampamento global dos atores da paz, tratamento gratuito do serviço médico da Fundação Magnólia e donativo de medicamentos ao Fundo Médico, donativo de uma cesta básica de emergência à população, inauguração de um centro de cultura para a paz, para a administração de um leque de atividades de formação para a cidadania e educação de caráter. Por isso, o Parlamento São Tomense copatrocina a Carta da Paz. Deste jeito, fica explícito o nosso compromisso para com a paz e a tolerância, enquanto valores fundamentais para o desenvolvimento e estabilidade globais, alinhando-se às metas da ONU e à Agenda 2030 para o desenvolvimento sustentável. Senhor Presidente, Excelências, a cúpula de Camboja não deve ser vista apenas como um encontro de ideais, mas como o início de um movimento que deve ser enraizado em nossas comunidades. Devemos nos empenhar no desenvolvimento de campanhas que promovam a paz, a cidadania, o respeito mútuo e a convivência harmoniosa. Usando nossas prerrogativas parlamentares, podemos legislar em prol da paz e do bem-estar social, transformando nossas discussões em ações concretas que gerem resultados tangíveis para os nossos povos. Juntos podemos fazer a diferença. Muito obrigada.
Thank you, Excellency Mrs. Speaker. And I'm so sorry for our esteemed participant for the lack of Spanish translation, but we hope that our Secretariat will circulate her remark in English later as soon as possible. Thank you. So next, we have the great honor to invite His Excellency Dr. Kai Kum Hoon, Secretary General of the ASEAN. Please, the floor is yours.
Samdaj Maha Rasapia Tika Tapadai Kunsatari, President, the National Assembly of the Kingdom of Cambodia, Excellency Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Jawan, President of the Global Council for Tolerance and Peace, Excellency Sujara, President, International Parliament for Tolerance and Peace, esteemed parliamentarians, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen. I'm greatly honored to be here today and would like to express my sincere gratitude to the National Assembly of the Kingdom of Cambodia and the Global Council for Tolerance and Peace for inviting me to address this distinguished platform at the 11th plenary session of the International Parliament for Tolerance and Peace, IPTP. It is fitting that we gather here in Cambodia, a nation that has risen from the ashes of war and conflict to embrace unity, peace, and prosperity. Cambodia's journey from a painful past of strife, division, and genocide to the present defined by resilience and reconciliation serves as a powerful testament to the values of tolerance and peace we seek to uphold today. It is a living reminder of what can be achieved when the commitment to peace prevails over conflict and division, and it stands as a beacon of hope and inspiration for us all as we confront the many complex challenges of our time. The overall theme, a quest for peace, reconciliation, and tolerance, and the sub-theme of the first plenary session here, advancing the global architecture of peace, peace building, reconciliation, and tolerance, synergy of governments, parliaments, and civil society, of today's meeting resonate profoundly in today's troubled, polarized, and uncertain world. Among states, major power rivalry is intensifying, while ongoing conflicts in Europe and the Middle East seriously undermine global peace and stability. Within societies, rising intolerance, rooted in socioeconomic disparities, identity politics, and culture wars, is further fueled by the echo chambers of a post-truth era where social media and advanced digital technologies amplify divisive narratives. Layer over these are escalating environmental challenges as climate change and resource scarcity continue to test the resilience and cooperation of nations worldwide. The World Economic Forum's Global Risk Report 2024 highlights that misinformation and disinformation, extreme weather events, societal polarization, cyber vulnerabilities, and interstate armed conflicts are among the most pressing threats we face in the next several years. Among these forces of fragmentation, polarization, division, and divergence, our dialogue today plays a critical role in reinforcing our shared commitment to building bridges, fostering mutual understanding and harmony, promoting trust and confidence building, and working towards a brighter future for all. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, throughout history, parliaments have played a pivotal role in promoting tolerance and peace, dialogue and diplomacy, by serving as platforms for dialogue, debate, and deliberation across the aisles. They have been instrumental in enacting legislation that fosters social cohesion, protects minority rights, and addresses the root causes of conflicts. By facilitating discussions among diverse voices and perspectives, parliaments have helped to build consensus and convergence and mitigate tensions within the societies. Additionally, they often take the lead in international diplomacy, advocating for peaceful resolutions to disputes and supporting initiatives that promote human rights and social justice. In this way, parliaments not only contribute to national cohesion, but also cultivate a culture of peace and mutual respect on the global scale. As we consider these vital roles, we find ourselves at a pivotal moment in the history of human civilization, where the interplay of climate change, demographic shifts, technological advancements, and political and geoeconomic strategic realignments is driving profound change and transformation. These factors are having an unprecedented impact on the lives and livelihoods of people, both here in ASEAN and around the globe. Given these multifaceted challenges to fostering peace and tolerance, it is crucial for us to move forward with renewed determination and a united voice. By amplifying awareness, coordinating our efforts, and redefining the global narratives, we can more effectively promote a culture of peace and tolerance. In ASEAN, we have implemented several strategic initiatives to promote peace and tolerance, including the ASEAN Declaration on the Culture of Prevention for a peaceful, inclusive, resilient, healthy, and harmonious society, as well as the Manila Declaration to counter the rise of radicalization and violent extremism. More recently, we are advancing the development of a strategy playbook aimed at fostering greater understanding and tolerance. This initiative follows the ASEAN leaders' adoption of the ASEAN Strategic Policy Framework on promoting an adaptive ASEAN community of greater understanding, tolerance, and a sense of regional agendas among the peoples of ASEAN. These efforts are crucial for building a more cohesive and harmonious community. Beyond promoting peace and tolerance, fostering coexistence requires us to safeguard our global common goods, including our shared oceans, atmosphere, food, and other critical resources for the present and future generations. To this end, ASEAN is advancing our sustainable agenda to ensure resource security through the circular economy framework for the ASEAN Economic Community. We also are charting a more sustainable future with the ASEAN Strategy for Carbon Neutrality. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in light of these commitments, I would like to share my thoughts and observations on 5 critical areas where we can improve our efforts to foster peace, tolerance, coexistence, and sustainable development. First, to promote lasting peace, we must proactively cultivate and nurture a culture of trust among all stakeholders. Since trust is hard to build and easy to break, it is essential to engage in regular and consistent dialogues like the one we are convening today. To achieve this, we must amplify and foster a sense of mutual respect, mutual trust, tolerance, and understanding through effective strategic communication, information literacy, and positive cultural narratives. These efforts are essential to counteract polarization, cultural pessimism, radicalization, and extremist views, which are often exacerbated by the proliferation, but the presence of equality, justice, and progress. Conflicts often arise from the root causes, such as injustice, inequality, poverty, and limited access to basic services, such as employment and education opportunities. Therefore, sustaining peace and tolerance requires the inclusive participation of societies and communities at all levels, as well as building inclusive economies that leave no one behind, so as to effectively address the underlying issues that drive social and political divisions. Third, we must instill in our youth, who are the leaders of tomorrow, a deepest appreciation of our shared values of humanity, especially respect for human dignity, equality, justice, empathy, and the collective responsibility to preserve peace and protect the environment. At the same time, we should foster the understanding of the interlocking traditional and asymmetric threats facing our world today. Ignorance of these emerging threats poses risks that can lead to polarization and erode trust among us. To enhance youth engagement in peace and tolerance, it is crucial to involve young people in creative peace-building and character-building activities, as well as intercultural and interfaith dialogues. Fourth, the geostrategic shifts we are witnessing on the global stage today demand skillful international diplomacy and restraint from all stakeholders. The IPTP can play a critical role in upholding the international system by safeguarding the rule of law and promoting international rules-based practices and norms. Fifth and finally, as conflicts can arise from resource scarcity, and with the growing global population placing increasing demands on the planet's natural resources, we must learn to manage these resources sustainably, reduce waste, including food loss and waste, and invest in renewable green energy. To this end, parliamentarians can leverage your legislative power to ensure fair and equitable access to food, water, energy, and other essential resources. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in today's interconnected world, peace, tolerance, and coexistence are inextricably linked to sustainability, to a sustainable and inclusive development. We must all play our part in exercising responsible stewardship and rise to the challenge by working together to address these cross-cutting global concerns, including climate change, pandemics, conflicts, disinformation, and resource shortages. Hence, I would like to take this opportunity to encourage the GCTP to engage with ASEAN, particularly through the ASEAN Institute for Peace and Reconciliation, which serves as ASEAN think tank on peace, conflict management, resolution, and reconciliation. Additionally, I note the signing of the Memorandum Understanding between IPTP, GCTP, and the ASEAN Parliamentary Assembly, IPA, at this meeting, I believe, that will take place. And I hope that through this partnership, it shall further advance the mutual interest in promoting peace, tolerance, coexistence in both this region and beyond. To achieve lasting peace and reconciliation, it is essential that we work from a common blueprint that outlines our principles and guides our collective efforts. I, therefore, look forward to the announcement and the signing, of course, not look, we already signed this morning, right before lunch, the signing of the Universal Peace Charter that was taking place by Samdech Dajo Hun Sen, President of the National Assembly of the Senate of the Kingdom of Cambodia. For people and the planet by Samdech Dajo, this charter emphasizes 5 key areas: conflict prevention, peace-building processes and good offices, transition justice, post-conflict reconstruction, and humanitarian and disaster response, as well as food security and sustainable development and response to climate change. All these 5 critical areas are also very much in line with ASEAN. I'm confident that this Universal Peace Charter will strengthen the resolve and commitment of ASEAN and the international community to create a better world for all. In conclusion, I wish to highlight that the remarkable alignment between the IPTP's efforts and ASEAN's ambitious vision for a peaceful, inclusive, and sustainable future. Together, we are forging unity in diversity and actively building a vibrant community of opportunities for all, here in ASEAN and also in the world at large. Let us continue to work hand in hand, inspiring one another to foster harmony and mutual respect, empower every individual to thrive in an environment of cooperation and understanding, and build a more equitable future for our region and the whole world. I thank you.
Thank you, His Excellency Dr. Kim Hoon, Secretary General of ASEAN, for your inspiring remarks. Yeah, okay, thank you. And next, we have a great honor to invite Mr. André Pastrana, President of the Council of Centralist Democrats International, CDI-IPC. Please, the floor is yours. Yeah.
His Excellency, Honorable Speaker of the House of Cambodia, Madame Kwon Sudari. Honorable Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Harwan, President of GCTP. His Excellency, Mr. Suo Ziara, Vice President of CDI and Chairman of the Foreign Affairs International Cooperation and Information of the National Assembly of Cambodia. Dear colleagues of the panel, ladies and gentlemen, today I would like to reiterate what I said a few weeks ago at the preparatory meeting to which I was invited as President of the Central Democrat International, CDI, and as former President of Colombia in Budapest. Today, in the modern world, there is more and more talk about the fundamental right to peace as a human right. Peace must be seen in this way, in the enormous magnitude that it is right of all citizens contains. The fundamental right of peace has been wonderfully described by UNESCO. And let me read this description, which will certainly show you the enormous dimension of this fundamental right. Peace is not only a value that should govern international relations. Peace is also a human right to which all individuals, groups, and peoples are entitled. We all have the right to live in peace. We all have the right to a just, sustainable, and lasting peace. Peace is not only the absence of armed conflicts, internal or international. Peace is a much broader and positive concept that encompasses the right to be educated in and for peace, the right to human security and to live in a safe and healthy environment, the right to development and a sustainable environment, the right to civil disobedience and conscientious objection to activities that threaten peace, the right to resistance against oppression by regimes that violate human rights, the right to demand general and complete disarmament by all states, the freedoms of thought, opinion, expression, conscience, and religion, the right to refugee, the right to emigrate and to participate in the public affairs of the state in which he resides, and the right to justice, truth, and effective reparation for victims of human rights violations. As can be easily deduced from this beautiful text, the right to peace is a matter that concerns all citizens and especially the legislative power. Both in parliamentary and presidential regime plays an essential role in the protection, its development, its implementation in reality, and the generation of mechanisms that allow citizens to feel that this human right can be exercised in all its dimensions. In every act, in every law that is passed, in every political control debate that takes place, parliaments must have this fundamental right to peace as the backbone of their actions. And it is not easy to do so. It is not easy that citizens understand the enormous magnitude of this right, and above all, that they understand the efforts that the state, whether in the executive or legislative branch, and even judges, make every day to make effective the right to peace and to live in peace. One of the most important experiences of my life was precisely the enormous challenges of seeking peace in a country ravaged by the violence of extreme left-wing guerrilla groups and the biggest generations of crime and all kinds of violence, the drug traffickers. During my term as President of Colombia, I had the privilege and the responsibility of leading one of the most challenging efforts to promote peace in the midst of a society deeply scarred by decades of conflict. My commitment to peace was born not only out of political necessity, but out of a deep conviction that a country cannot prosper without peace. War leaves scars that persist for generations, and only through justice, dialogue, negotiation, and active conflict prevention can we aspire to heal those wounds. In Colombia, we understood that the peace could not be achieved only by immediate or temporary measures, but it required a solid institutional framework. With the cooperation of all public authorities, since it's necessarily a state policy. In democracies such as Colombia, the search for peace must be a state policy in which the interests of all political tendencies converge and must therefore be reflected in the actions of all public authorities, especially the legislative branch, whose laws and political controls allow ordinary citizens to effectively realize that right of peace. The construction of peace cannot be seen only as a process of issuing laws or as a decision of a single ruler. To build peace requires consensus, dialogue, and political actions, both nationally and internationally, so that peace becomes the binding force of society and is undoubtedly the best policy for the whole world to support a country struggling to achieve it. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, in my experience, in the search for peace agreements with the guerrilla groups, we promote the creation of channels of dialogue between diverse political and social forces, allowing a consensus in the reforms necessary for the end of the conflict. In these consensuses, the role of Congress was fundamental. In a presidential system such as ours, it is essential to have the political support and, if necessary, the support in the promotion of laws necessary to achieve peace. I must emphasize that in democratic systems where there is also opposition, one of the most important points we achieved at that time was to reach an agreement between the government parties and the opposition parties in order to set a state peace policy, and we committed ourselves for a society to seek a common ideal under agreed principles. I call this exercise the Common Front for Peace Against Violence, and it was built between members of the Congress, members of the civil society, and members of the government. Undoubtedly, I believe it has been one of the best experiences of how it is possible to build consensus among all of us to achieve peace. Of course, we reiterate that it is fundamental to find a consensus in all the public powers in this regard, because peace, as a fundamental right, cannot be subject to political tendencies or ups and downs of public administration. Peace does not belong to the right or to the left. Peace belongs to all of us. Peace is what we, all of us, want: respect and defend democracy. Possibly, for dictators or those who have the pretensions of modern emperors and ignore democratic values, peace is not an essential line of their public action because peace does not suit them. Peace harms them. Peace and the proper exercise of that right can only be achieved in democracy. But the consolidation of this right to peace also requires international support, not only in Colombia's experience, but also in most conflicts, as in the case of Cambodia. International participation in the search for peace, reflected in diplomacy for peace, is always the key to strengthen trust between parties in conflict, to generate channels of communication, to find different points of view, and to facilitate the creation of cooperation mechanisms with the international community to support peace. This is what we did in Colombia. Thanks to the international support, my process with the guerrilla groups led by me had the support of more than 32 states, including the Vatican, as well as the United Nations. This international effort allowed the violent guerrilla groups to understand that today the world is mobilizing for peace and respecting our sovereignty. They participate in a very active way, not only in the peace negotiation, but also in supporting what we call Plan Colombia, which was no different from a plan to make effective the citizens' right to peace with more justice, more development, more citizen security, more equality, and more democracy. The objective could not only be to stop violence in the short term, but to build the necessary conditions that will facilitate future peace efforts, and above all, to materialize peace in a country with a high level of violence. These efforts are fully consistent with the principles of the Letter of Peace, which promotes international cooperation and the use of good offices to prevent the escalation of tensions and to realize the universal right to peace. Today, the peace chapter that brings us together here resonates deeply with those principles. Conflict prevention and peace building require unprecedented international cooperation. We cannot afford to work individually, as the challenges we face, such as organized crime and social inequality, transcend borders. During my time in government, I understood that peace not only benefits a nation, but it contributes to the stability of the region and of the world. This is why, since then, I have continued to work tirelessly in international forums, promoting dialogue and cooperation, convinced that diplomatic and multilateral efforts are fundamental to build global peace. Of course, this struggle also involves combating narco-dictatorships, such as the one in Venezuela that is suffering today, which has so many effects on the region. The declaration of today emphasizes the need for a collective people-centric approach to peace building, aligned with the key principles enshrined in the Universal Peace Chapter. It calls for stronger partnerships and unified efforts to foster trust, uphold international law, and reinforce non-aggression and non-interference policies. This collective right is crucial as we face an era marked by both remarkable opportunities and unprecedented challenges. We commend the visionary leadership of Cambodia, whose unwavering dedication to promoting peace is exemplified by its involvement in the international peacekeeping, demining operation, and transitional justice effort, notably through the extraordinary chambers in the courts of Cambodia, ECCC. This hybrid court set a remarkable precedent by delivering justice and fostering reconciliation following decades of conflict. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as UNESCO rightly states, peace is not only the absence of war, it is the active presence of truth, justice, freedom, security, and tranquility of every citizen, and it is also the development of nations so that the well-being of their citizens may be even greater. As we celebrate this achievement, let us extend our heartfelt appreciation to Cambodia for hosting such impactful discussions and showcasing its leadership in peace diplomacy. Especially thanks go to the Cambodia's People Party and its leaders, former President Hun Sen, and particularly to Prime Minister Hun Manet for their dedication to nurturing a democratic and harmonious society. Let us continue working together to achieve it, from prevention to reconstruction for the well-being of our future generations. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Thank you, His Excellency Mr. Andres Prastona, President of the Centrist Democrat International, for his valuable contribution. Yeah. So, last but not least, of course, we have a great honor to invite His Excellency Mrs. Siti Rosa Marianti Dato Haji Abdul Rahman. Yeah, please, Secretary General of IPA, please, for sure.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Excellency Chair Samdech Kun Sudari, President of the National Assembly of Cambodia, Co-Chair His Excellency Mr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Jarwan, President of GCTP, Excellencies, distinguished honorable parliamentarians and delegates, ladies and gentlemen. It is a privilege to address this distinguished gathering on the crucial topic of advancing the global architecture of peace, peace building, reconciliation, and tolerance. Now allow me to begin by recalling the profound words by His Excellency Prime Minister Hun Manet during the recent interface that we had between the ASEAN leaders and the AIPA delegation in September, where he emphasized that the topic of peace remains as relevant as ever, that it has never been outdated. His words resonate deeply, as peace is not just a timeless aspiration, but the very foundation of progress, stability, and prosperity. Achieving and sustaining peace requires persistence, bold innovation, and seamless collaboration among all stakeholders. ASEAN, in its enduring commitment to peace, acknowledges the significant contributions from the leadership of Samdech Hun Sen, whose dedication has not only preserved peace within his beloved country, Cambodia, but also contributed to the stability to the region. His commitment to peace serves as a reminder of how national reconciliation can become a cornerstone of regional harmony. As highlighted earlier by His Excellency Dr. Kao Kim Hoon, ASEAN Secretary General, in ASEAN, peace is a guiding principle rooted in shared values of mutual respect, non-interference, consultation, and consensus. These principles shape ASEAN's approach to regional stability, fostering dialogue and collaboration among diverse member states. Despite the region's complexities, ASEAN prioritizes reconciliation through balanced and constructive cooperation, believing unity is best achieved by respecting diversity rather than imposing uniformity. This inclusive approach fosters mutual understanding and lays the foundation for lasting peace and stability. ASEAN's efforts in fostering regional peace highlight the importance of multilateralism and inclusivity, and these achievements have been made possible through the collective participation of all stakeholders, governments, parliamentarians, and civil society to build trust, bridge divides, and ensure sustainable peace for all. The ASEAN Inter-Parliamentary Assembly plays a pivotal role in advancing ASEAN's vision for peace, stability, and prosperity. As ASEAN's parliamentary arm, AIPA serves as a vital platform for dialogue and cooperation among the member parliaments, fostering mutual understanding, building consensus, and strengthening legislative frameworks. Through parliamentary diplomacy, AIPA complements ASEAN's efforts, leveraging its legislative role to address the needs and aspirations of the region's people. AIPA's contribution extends beyond legislation to tackling critical regional challenges such as social cohesion, climate change, human rights, and economic integration. Recognizing the power of inclusivity, AIPA engages with youth, civil society, regional and international community to bridge the gap between policymakers and the communities we serve. By partnering with diverse stakeholders, AIPA aims to amplify grassroots voices and ensures that no one is left behind in the shared quest for peace, reconciliation, and sustainable development. AIPA's commitment to inclusivity is further reflected in its focus on empowering the region's women and youth. The ASEAN Commission on Women promotes women's inclusion in peace building through the ASEAN Regional Plan of Action on Women, Peace, and Security adopted during Cambodia's ASEAN Chairmanship in 2022. Building on its pillar of representation, WIPA, AIPA Standing Committee for Women Parliamentarians, adopted the WIPA Plan of Action on Women Political Participation and Leadership, emphasizing women's role in advancing peace through equal representation, inclusive decision-making, and intergenerational cooperation. The Young Parliamentarians of AIPA, an initiative introduced by Vietnam and later elevated to a standing committee by Cambodia, exemplifies this dedication. YPA offers young leaders a platform to contribute to regional decision-making, fostering intergenerational dialogue and ensuring their voices are heard. By nurturing young parliamentarians' leadership, AIPA bridges generational perspectives and shape policies that reflect collective aspirations, building a more inclusive and forward-looking ASEAN community. Excellencies, the challenges we face today, whether political, socio-economic, or environmental, highlight the critical need for unity and collaboration. The synergy among governments, parliaments, and civil society forms the backbone of regional peace efforts, fostering stability and partnerships that transform the vision of sustainable peace into reality. AIPA looks forward to partnering with the IPTP to promote tolerance, advance peace, and strengthening collective efforts in building a future of stability, resilience, and shared prosperity. So let us strive with persistent trust and peace is not a destination, but a foundation upon which we build a future of stability, resilience, and shared prosperity. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Her Excellency, Mrs. Secretary General of AIPA, for your valuable contribution. Honorable Speaker, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, the first section of the first section of the first plenary session adjourned. We would like to express my sincere gratitude To our distinguished panelists, the depth and diversity of the perspectives shared today have truly enriched our discussion. Let all show our appreciation with a round applause for our speaker. Thank you for the insightful contribution and intensive participation. Now, I think that I have to pass the next program to the organizing committee.
Thank you very much to Samdech President and Excellency President for your excellent leadership as co-chairs for this first plenary session. And thank you, honorable speakers, for your insightful remark. Your commitment to peace and tolerance is greatly appreciated. Samdech, honorable speakers, heads and members of delegates, distinguished guests, excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. At this moment, may we proceed to the next item of our updated agenda, the Memorandum of Understanding signing ceremony between GCTP, IPTP with national and regional parliaments. To proceed, may I respectfully invite Excellency Mr. Ahmed bin Mohammed Al Jawan, President of the Global Council for Tolerance and Peace, GCTP, to please proceed to the sanitary table, please. And I also would like to respectfully invite Excellency Mr. Suyara, President of the IPTP and the Chairman of the Commission on Foreign Affairs, International Cooperation and Media of the National Assembly of Cambodia, to proceed to the signing table, please. Thank you very much. Please kindly have your seat. And next, I would like to respectfully invite Her Excellency Mrs. Siti Rosai Marianti Dato Haji Abdul Rahman, Secretary General of AIPA, to proceed to the signing table, please. Congratulations, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much, Her Excellency, Secretary General of AIPA. Next, I would like to respectfully invite His Excellency Dr. Chang Sik Young, Chairman of the International Association of Parliamentarians for Peace, AIPP, to proceed to the signing table, please. We'd like to invite our honorable signatory to take your seat and proceed with the signature. Thank you very much, and please give round of applause for this significant moment. Thank you very much to His Excellency Chairman of AIPP. Next, I would like to respectfully invite Her Excellency Mrs. Chung A-han, Member of the National Assembly and President of Asian National Assembly, Water Consultative Board, AAW, South Korea, proceed to the signing table, please. Please give a round of applause to this significant occasion. Thank you very much, Her Excellency, President of AAWC. Last but not least, I would like to respectfully invite His Excellency Dr. Epinet Jeongseong Sende, Fifth Vice President of Transitional National Council of Chart, to proceed to the signing table, please. Distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, please give round of applause for this Memorandum of Understanding signing ceremony. Thank you very much, His Excellency Dr. Fifth Vice President. And thank you, Excellency President of GCTP and IPTP, and also Honorable Signatory of National and Regional Parliaments for your Memorandum of Understanding. Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, once again, give round of applause on this significant occasion. Honorable Samdak, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. Next, before we proceeding to our next second half of the first plenary session, advancing the global architecture for peace, peace building, reconciliations, and tolerance, synergies of governments, parliaments, and civil society that would be continued, that chaired by His Excellency Mr. Utboret, Vice President of Senate of the Kingdom of Cambodia, and also co-chaired by His Excellency Dr. Epinet Jeongseong Sende, Fifth Vice President of the Transitional National Council of Chart. I would like to respectfully invite Samdak, honorable speakers, heads, and members of delegate, distinguished guests, Excellency, ladies and gentlemen, to move forward to our next ballroom, which is the Ballroom 3, to continue proceeding for this next session, please.